Alright, got a little something weird here. Thanksgiving battle going on, and I kind of messed up with the recording a little bit again. So it's going to start off showing from the opponent's point of view, and then it'll switch in the middle back to my point of view, and just a little explanation of what's going on. So I'm currently on the other side with Happy Feet, just so you guys know. Anyway, Thanksgiving, so we got to use all birds, and so we both had the idea to, hey, let's use this guy, and we'll get some Stealth Rock, and that'll be great. He goes with Hydro Pump because he used a Smogan standard, and I didn't look at Smogan for any of these guys, so I went with Yawn, hopefully to phase people out, which in birds with Stealth Rock I figured would be really, really sweet. Unfortunately for me, he's got some insomnia going on, and I decided to protect to see what he wants to do. I'm really afraid of sleep because none of my guys really are going to take sleep all that well. So I go with the Water Pulse. Want to see how much it does, want to see if I can get a confusion, and I get neither, essentially. He's a special wall, I'm guessing, or at least a special tank. So I go to Pidgeot, who, by the way, I don't know if you'll get a chance to see him from my point of view, but in Platinum, he looks fucking sweet, man. He's like Super Saiyan 3 bird going on. Anyway, I made a bulky Toxic stall, so he's got Toxic, Protect, Quick Attack, and Fly, so that he'll be able to use up a bajillion amounts of turns and recover and stall all at the same time. So it's really sweet. I love his set. Luckily, Psycho Shift misses. Otherwise, I would have had to try and Toxic him again, and having a Toxic staller get Toxic is really a pain in the butt. So I used Fly, figuring that he would try and shift again, and thus Toxic would hurt him more, and then I would come down landing on him, and Toxic would hurt him more, and I would get Lefty's recovery during all that, etc., etc. I was not obviously expecting Psycho Shift, but he had Protect, so I've got to leave myself. But I figure even if that Xatu has Synchronized, I know it's Wally, so I want to get it out of there. I use Toxic again. He comes back to this guy, and I figure I could go to him since I've got Encore, and if he used Psycho Shift or if he used Roost, I could Encore it, which is what I'm really thinking of. But I figured he might switch since he got his dude back up to full hit points. So I went with Chatter, which I was also under the impression had a 100% chance of confusion, and I was wrong. Otherwise, I wouldn't have used Chatter ever. I would have used Hyper Voice or HP Electric. So I get lucky with the crit, which was a huge help. It allowed me to finish off the Togetic and pretty much made up for my misinformation of having Chatter be better than I thought it was. So that was really cool. Unfortunately, I'm spec'd onto that, so I can't use HP Electric and finish that thing off, and this is where my side comes back in. Cool. I accidentally recorded an audio instead of the video file. I hate not being able to use Windows Movie Maker. Anyway, see how awesome Pidgeot looks? Dude, he looks like a beast. He's like fucking, like I said, Super Saiyan 3. Look at him. Anyway, I have a Pelipper in this match too, and mine's definitely a wall, so I was kind of figuring his would be tanky. It looks like he's got a Scarf Sweeper, I'm guessing. So I wanted to Toxic it, and I was hurt a little bit, so I used Protect to hopefully make sure I live it. And after doing calculations, I would have lived it anyway without the Protect at 3 hit points, but, whatever. I figured I would use it, and it helped. So I got Toxic on him, which is cool. It's getting all of his guys down on a countdown, and then theoretically I can stall and sweep with the various Pokemon that I have. That was the plan. So he switches out to Staravia, and because of Stealth Rock, I can't switch, and I used Protect on that turn, which that was a tough thought. I wanted to use Toxic in case he switched. I wanted to use Quick Attack to get some sort of damage in. I wanted to use Protect, obviously, in case he tried to kill me. I could get more Toxic in there. So I go with Quick Attack, so does he. He's faster. I'm dead. Oh well. At that point, that was kind of the best I could do. So I go to this guy, because he's a physical wall, pretty much, with Stockpile, and I know he is Choice Banded onto Quick Attack. Or at least, at this point, I don't know he's choiced. I know Symphony, and therefore I know he's choiced. So I get a Stockpile, which is huge, because this guy is, like, really, really beastly. And now he's beastlier. So he's going to use nothing, I guess, and allow me to get a second Stockpile up, which is awesome. And I know that his dude is going to use an HP Electric, and it's going to be ×4 against this guy. But I've got 2 Stockpiles. He's Toxic. I'm going to Roost this first turn so I can see what it did, see what I'm up against, and I think I should be okay. It does a little bit less than half, or approximately half. So the roost brings me back up, and then lefties brings me back up. And he's on a countdown. I could roost all day. I could stockpile again if I want. But I know that, you know, this is going to take some time, and I got to be able to fit this video in here. Look at this. It's max length already, you know. So I went a little bit quicker. I used hidden power electric myself. I figured if that thing's times 4 and the best it did was half, I think I'll be safe against any other damaging attack. So, and again, I can always roost and stockpile some more if I need to. So this kind of sucks. I'm afraid of the Psycho Shift. I didn't realize until I clicked my move that he could also roost, and that was not what I wanted because he's definitely really tanky. I went with the Surf trying to see if I could finish him off while getting toxic myself, and I completely forgot about roost, so that really sucks. So I was not happy about that. I didn't realize that I made this guy so tanky he couldn't hurt people, but you know, I guess the thought was I would have toxic on them and that it wouldn't matter. So I go to this guy simply because I want to encore it, because I was also under the impression that as long as the Pokemon who used encore was still in there, the other guy had to stay in there, kind of like a trap, like Mean Look in a way. But I was wrong on that also, so good that I learned that now. Anyway, I encored him, that's right, Choice Specs Encore, get some of that. And that means I know he's going to switch, therefore I also have to switch, and I know thankfully that I'm just strong enough to live in another Stealth Rock, so he's not fully out of his usage yet. I go to Firo, who is my physical sweeper, which I did not want to bring in yet. I don't have nearly as much toxic as I thought I was going to have, but I got to use something physical on that dude who's special defensive. So he used Protect and I used Agility, which was awesome, because now I got a free Agility, which therefore gives me a free attack instead of using Endure earlier. So it doesn't do as much as I wanted it to. And this turn now I know I have to go with an Endure. If he uses Protect and I use Endure, no big deal. I use Return and kill him anyway and use Endure later. But he ends up going with the Psychic and I get my Endure, yada yada yada. And so he's going to Protect to gain more hit points obviously and avoid the Quick Attack. So it's just a matter of, is Quick Attack going to be strong enough after his leftovers gain twice and so on, just to see if it works. And yay, it does, it works, which is cool. So unfortunately, like I said, I had to use him a little bit earlier than I wanted, so I know he's got something with Quick Attack, and unfortunately it also has Intimidate, so he had like the perfect choice for it. So I had to hope that my Quick Attack would work, and it doesn't. At least I know it gets it weak enough now that it can't come back in, so he's gonna stay, and he's stuck on Quick Attack yet again. So I go with another Wall who has Recovery and stat boosting moves, and I use Wish to get some, at least get the heal ready. I see that I'm not even at half hit points yet. He didn't do very much, so I don't need to use Protect. I don't want to attack just yet. It gives me a free turn to set up and go back to full hit points, which is awesome. And as soon as he saw that, he knew that it was over. He's not going to have anything to do about this guy. So he can't stay in a Quick Attack, obviously, but he can't really switch out because it makes that guy worthless. But he doesn't, at the same time, he doesn't have a choice. It's a good choice, or a good case of Zug Zwang for you chess players. Every move makes it worse for yourself. So he switches, goes to that guy. I get another Wish up, so I'm not afraid of his Ice Beam whatsoever. And I know that because I'm faster, I can even Calm Mind right now and reduce the damage that Ice Beam is going to do to me, while making it more powerful the next turn. Because of Wish, I'll go back up to full, yada yada yada. I pretty much had it locked in the bag, and I had some good strategies going on with my birds. So I take the Ice Beam after the Calm Mind, so now I'm +3 attack and special defense. I'm back at full hit points. I'll hit him with a Hidden Power Electric, so that'll be cool. I'm a little afraid of getting frozen, of course. Normally I probably would have gotten another Calm Mind or 2 up just because I'm merciless like that, but it was nice to know that I was still able to finish him off with what I had. So he brings in his last guy, which at this point can't really do anything to me since he doesn't have sleep, which is amazing. I was afraid he would. And I'm faster, so I get to finish him off. Anyway, so thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Peace.